Hey guys, welcome again to another edition of our cooking class. Today we got a special dish which is actually my own creation. It's truffle hummus, but with a twist in terms of its garnish, but also using brown chickpeas. So these are our main ingredients. We'll go through our prep and ingredients one by one together. We'll take you through the whole process, how you can make this amazing dip or side dish. And also we'll take you through the cooking process and also my take on how we can serve. All the ingredients are ready, available in a good supermarket. The main ingredient is the brown chickpeas. If you haven't tried this for hummus, I highly recommend it. It's got a unique earthy taste to your hummus, and it adds a different level of textures and flavors. All of our other ingredients you can source locally. Nothing is out of the ordinary or a surprise to you guys. So let's start off with preparing our truffle hummus today, and let's get started. So the first thing that we're using is pine seeds. So you can find pine seeds using which are in their shells, like you see now. You just take it out the shell because they're already roasted. If you're buying raw pine seeds, you need to toast them simply in a frying pan or on the stove and just brown them up a little bit to get the smoky and flavor out of it. But these are already roasted and we're just peeling them and getting them ready. The first stage is to boil our chickpeas, depending on how many portions you want to make, but you want to approximately boil about 350 to 400 grams of chickpeas. Our pine seeds are now ready, and we put them aside, which we're going to use them for garnish. They've got a unique flavor and smokiness to them, and they add a different complexity and level of flavor to our hummus. So we put in 300 grams of our brown chickpeas. 300 grams is going to serve at least 3 or 4 people when making hummus as a dip. So once we've got to 300 grams, we then start adding our rest of our ingredients. So 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. It's really important that you use freshly squeezed lemon juice. We also add about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. If you love garlic like me, you can add more. If you're not really a garlicky person, you can add less, or don't add any garlic whatsoever. But I highly recommend adding garlic. Then you want to use a good extra virgin olive oil, around 5 tablespoons. We'll do it for this recipe, but you may need to add more later, as you'll see later in the video. Then we add our cumin, 2 teaspoons of cumin into our handheld blender container, but you can also use a food processor as well. We add some sea salt and also black pepper, but we may need to adjust the salt and pepper later on in the video. We then add a 1/4 cup of tahini, a really good quality tahini, I highly recommend. A 1/4 cup of water. Again, we may need to add a little bit more water later, and then we start to mix all of our ingredients together. It's really important that you get a really nice texture to our hummus. So if necessary, if you see it's a bit too thick, add some water and also a little bit more olive oil until you get the right texture and consistency. You need to make it really, really smooth. And if you get to this type of texture where you can lift it up, it's not too runny, not too thick, then you've hit the jackpot, and this is the texture that you're looking for. We then go to add our hummus mixture into a piping bag. You don't really need a piping bag, but we're using a piping bag for the way that we want to serve our hummus. You can simply just serve it straight into a plate. Then we start adding our garnish. So 5 to 6 walnuts. We want to pulse blend. We don't want to really make a powder out of our walnuts. We want to use it as a garnish, and we want to contain and keep its consistency. So let's go for serving. So we bring an appropriate dish, add some truffle oil on the bottom. This will make sure that it doesn't stick, so that we can move around and play around with our hummus. So using the piping bag, we squeeze it out. As you can see, you get a unique shape going all the way around. And this would just add to, if you like, the appearance of the way that we are particularly serving it. But as I said, you can serve it in any way that you like. Then we add 2 tablespoons of truffle oil. Ideally use white truffle oil because it's got a much more stronger aroma and it's more pungent. Then we add some black pepper. Then we add some chili flakes. Once we've added our chili flakes, we then add the crushed walnuts that we prepared earlier. I love walnuts, so I add a little bit more, but you can add less. It's completely flexible. And then we go for our pine seeds. About 2 tablespoons will be sufficient, but again, you can add more. But you don't want to overdo it in terms of layering and adding too much texture and flavor. Our final addition is the truffle salt. This is going to add unique texture and flavor, but most importantly, aroma to our hummus. Finally, we add sumac, which you can find, again, as I said, in most good supermarkets. So finally, we go for our garnish in terms of color, and we're adding some fresh chopped parsley. About 1 teaspoon will do it. This is then prepared, ready to go. You can use whatever bread, sourdough bread, tortilla chips, whatever you like on the side. But this is an amazing dish. I highly recommend you try it, guys. It's got a unique texture and flavor, particularly with the garnish that we're using. Adds a lot more layered textures to the overall product, and a number of layers of flavors that come out once you taste it. So definitely try this recipe. I hope you enjoy. As always, please save, like, and share. And if you try this recipe, make sure that you leave your comments below, and watch out for our next recipe that we're going to be preparing for you. But unbelievable, this hummus, you got to try it. It's amazing.